This week on IBN Heartland, 3 teams from the Lone Star State are featured on this week's regional replay. See what our favorite play is coming up here on IBN Heartland. Hey there, high school football fans, and welcome to IBN Heartland. I'm your host, Sam Farber. A lot to talk about this week. The number 1 team in the nation resides in Texas. That would be the Allen Eagles, and we have seen the number 1 play in the nation come from the Lone Star State. Now, to find out if this week was another one of those cases, you'll have to watch IBN Top 10. But to see some of the nominees, let's go ahead and take a look at the regional replay. Some love for Kansas, they said. Well, here you go. Mill Valley at Piper. Skylar Windmiller, that's a quarterback's name for Mill Valley, finds Henry Midyet. That score made it 21-0 just before half. After recess, Piper's passer Tanner Elkenberry found his rhythm. Here he goes for an 11-yard score, but the day belonged to Windmiller. I like that name. It's L.J. Hatch, who caught 3 TDs. Mill Valley still undefeated, wins 27-20. In Dallas, number 51 Skyline rolled Richardson at max efficiency, 10 possessions, 9 TDs. Devontae Kincaid was 15 of 17 for 332 yards and 4 scores in just the first half. Yeah, you bet Skyline won 62-7. Number 14 in the Rivals High Top 100, Trinity at Bell, ranked Trojans road running back Joel Kimpella around the left side, dives under a tackle and into the painted turf for a score. Bell did lead, though, after Denelra Dorsett, Texas. Dorsett, you know this play is going to be good. He slips a tackle, and he will go all the way. 36 yards for the score. Blue Raiders thinking upset, but Joel Kimpella says keep on dreaming. The delay ends up with Kimpella bursting through for a 68-yard score. Kimpella ended his night just right. After this score, there you go, there's the end of it. 307 total yards on the day for him, 3 scores, the last one including this stiff arm there, and he's going to hold off the defenders, spin into the end zone. Trinity wins 41-11. Finally, Rivals High rated number 86 Capel, not going to be ranked next week. They played Geyer and Denton. Started well for Capel, Jake Larson and Henry Bush for a score, but it would be the last Capel Cowboys score of the game. Geyer sophomore QB Jared Hurd heaves one up for Connor Crane. He's smart. He's going to Stanford. The future Cardinal reels this 38-yard pass in for the Wildcats' first lead. Later on, it's Hurd doing it himself on a 14-yard run before the half, and then afterwards, Hurd again, 20 yards this time around the right side. Geyer pulls the upset 31-7. Another impressive performance from Trinity out of Euless, Texas, always a candidate to be number 1 in the nation. And to talk about that squad and their chances this year, we bring in senior analyst from Rivals High, Dallas Jackson. Dallas, this Trinity team has been in the top 10, top 5, number 1 conversation the last couple of years. For you personally, what is keeping them outside the top 5 to this point in 2011?
Well, at this point in 2011, it's just there's so many other teams that have looked better than them. You mentioned Euless Trinity and their history of success. The past 4 seasons, they've been in the top 15 nationally at year's end. So they're a team that we have plenty of respect for. I was at that game this week, and what really stood out to me was the passing game. They really had a hard time moving the ball through the air, and again, their strength is running the ball, and they went back to it in the second half and really pounded LD Bell for the remainder of the game. If they don't find a quarterback, they're going to have a hard run through the playoffs. They're going to have to face off against Allen. They're going to have to, if they beat that game, they're going to have to play either DeSoto or Skyline. And there's a lot of teams in Texas that can expose you if you're not a better and more complete team.
That Skyline team you mentioned, we saw a video from them as well on the regional replay. It's a team that you're pretty high on as a riser into that top 15 conversation. What do you like about the kids from Dallas?
Well, this is a team that always has a ton of athletes, and that's no surprise that they have them again this season. They were as high as number 2 a couple of years ago when they fell in the playoffs, and that's really puts my concern up. Is the playoffs. Can they get through a very tough Division I team? Can they get through DeSoto? Can they get through these teams that seem to play more disciplined brand of football? Skyline might be different this year. They might be the same.
It's not an easy task for anyone out there in Texas. Not easy to answer these questions or make all these picks, but you do it so well. Dallas Jackson, senior analyst from Rivals High. We appreciate the time and look forward to talking to you again next show. And speaking of picks, Dallas each and every week picks the 5 biggest games in the nation. See how he did this week. Did he go 5-0 for the 3rd week in a row? Find out on IBN National. For now, I'm Sam Farber saying thanks for watching IBN Heartland.